Hello. I'd like to talk to you a little bit about Emmaus and how it ties in with motherhood. On Easter Sunday a few days ago, I was growing in my excitement. I'd been with my family the weeks before as my father had died, and we were together mourning that, but looking forward to hope and getting back into life. And so I wanted to be here on Easter Sunday with my dear friends in the West Seneca congregation. We had a great service. I had a good time. We had a great dinner with my family, and at mid-afternoon I gathered with my son-in-law at his company's box seat office at HSBC Center, where we watched the Buffalo Sabres take on the Philadelphia Flyers in Game 6, hoping that they were going to win the quarterfinals. Oh, it was an exciting game. People were screaming, jumping, waving flags, shouting. Twice we were ahead by 2 goals, only to be tied near the end of the third period. And then suddenly there at the beginning of the overtime, they scored and we lost. Everything went quiet. People filed out with hardly even speaking, just sort of murmuring about what happened. Our hopes were so high and now they're gone. So it is so often with us when we have our hopes go up. We get excited and then the whole bottom falls out. Sometimes it's that way with new pastors that come to churches. Young, old, men, women. Oh, at first, everybody's relieved. The leader is here, the speaker is here. People say, come and see how well he or she preaches. He even sings a few songs now and then. And everybody says, this is the one. And then people begin to say, that's not right. Why did he change it? Why is that? Or in some cases they say, do you know what our new pastor did? During Lent, he had a study called The Pagan Christ. I can't believe he did that. And then on Easter Sunday, he said, it's all just a story. And then he had an editorial written in the paper which said that 95% of the Bible was not even historical. That it's just allegory. It's mystery stories that help us connect with that which is spirit. Some may be wondering, it's time for a walk. It's time to take a stroll and say, well, do we want this? Do we have to listen to this? Oh, we all need those times. And that's what happened, I think, in the story of the road to Emmaus. These 2 men were walking down after the Easter experience that they were so excited about. They wondered what had happened. The one they had great hopes for was killed. And so they're just walking down the road toward Emmaus, which means warm springs, when suddenly a man appears with them, as the story goes, and we know that it's Jesus. And as he walks along with them, he says, why are you so sad? Haven't you heard? Are you the only one in all Jerusalem that doesn't know what has happened? How Jesus, the one that we really had our hopes on, who was going to be delivering us from these awful Romans and setting us free, he was captured, he was tried, he was persecuted, he was killed. Our hopes were dashed. And now there's these rumors going around that some women say they saw him. They saw the empty tomb. They saw an angel. There's other reportings of him being sighted. It's just too crazy. We just need to take this walk. And so the man whom we know as Jesus suddenly says, well, let me explain to you some of the scriptures. And as he does, he shows them even from their Hebrew scriptures that this was the one that was to come to save them from their sins, to give them hope, to be killed by angry people, but on the third day to rise again. He is the one. He is the one. Well, as they go down the road and get to Emmaus, they invite him to come into their house and have some food with them. And so he does. And as they're breaking the bread, suddenly they realize who it is. It's Jesus himself. And then almost as quickly, he's gone. He's gone. And they look at each other and said, didn't our hearts burn in us when we heard him talking and felt that presence? We should have known. We should have known. When you and I have our highs and then our lows, we need to just take a walk. We need to take a walk with what I call that mothering part in our hearts. On this Mother's Day, I think of mothers as that intuitive, caring, comforting, passive, listening side, which is so very important. We don't have that very much in our Bibles. Psalm 131, one of my favorite ones, is a picture of Mother God, and the psalmist is praying, saying, I'm not thinking any more about things which are too great and too high for me, but I'm just going to climb up on Mother God's lap, the place where I was weaned, and be at peace. It's like Jesus looking over Jerusalem, as the story goes, and weeping and saying, oh, that I could be like a mother chicken and spread out my wings and bring in all these scared, frightened, guilt-ridden chickens and comfort them. That's the mothering in us that we connect with when we take walks. In some traditions, that type of listening is very important. In fact, when I was in India, I learned about taking what they call prayer walks, and you can learn them in our country. That's what the labyrinth is all about, which will be demonstrated in a few days in our area. You just take a walk, slowly, back and forth, back and forth. You just be, you just empty, and you listen. And you may experience the presence, the peace, and your heart will be warmed. Oh, it's so hard for us in our culture, isn't it? We live in what I call a pretty masculine church tradition. Look at the signs around in our churches. Serve the Lord. Do this. Do that. How many of them say, come away and pray a while? Come away and take a 10-day retreat. Oh my goodness, there's so much to do. I think of Frederick Buechner, is it, the Presbyterian writer, who says often we ought to say, just don't do something, but stand there and wait. You realize that one of the most frequently used word in the Bible for prayer means literally, judge thyself, observe thyself. It's not doing, it's seeing where our consciousness is, our awareness. Have we slipped into anger, guilt, fear, in attack? We need to come back. Don't crucify that dear Christ within. Let it come out. Let it come out. Yes, there's both parts, doing, but today it's so important for us to be reminded of that which is just emptying, listening, praying, and waiting. As we wait, the presence comes. Our heart is warmed anew. We feel that comforting of God the Mother, and we're at peace again. God bless you on this day. Listen, empty, receive. Have peace. Namaste be with you.